Live. Oh boy, I just got in the car. I'm going to work. I uh I gotta start posting clips, shorts. I gotta start putting more work into this thing if I want it to grow. Um you know. I'm gonna have a lot more time. Yesterday's live, I realized after I listened to it, because I'm such a vain person that I go back and listen to my lives to see how I sounded. What's up, brother? Yeah, it's a demo, brother. It's a demo. So now it's very simple. It's comical. I said it yesterday. It's comical how simple it is to make a track, if unless you don't know. Why does my car sound like that? Maybe I should let it warm up a little bit. That's right, it's cold out. And it's an old car, 2012 Chevy Equinox. And I need it. I only paid $1,500 for it. And it already costed me a few $1,000s to fix already, so it can't break again. I'm about to be off for the winter. I got like 2 or 3 more weeks left. Probably by Thanksgiving. Maybe not me. I'll be there to the end. I'm the foreman. But with each passing day, it gets a little bit harder and harder. I don't know. I don't know why. I just know how my body feels, and I'm getting older, and I'm still doing the same kind of things I was doing when I was 20, climbing up things, jumping off things, in my big muck boots and with a tool belt on. And I'm doing it, I'm able to do it. But now, like last night, I jumped down, maybe, I don't know, 5 feet. I was standing on top of the crane. We'll take the crane apart. Now you got to send everything back to where it came from. But this particular machine, these particular cranes came from France. It's a humongous, one of the biggest companies in construction. Like you got Koch, Skanska in America. These are worldwide companies too. They do jobs all over the world. Before the company I'm working for now, before the job before we were on now, they were digging in Morocco. That's all they do is dig. Multi-million-dollar cranes, brand new too. Several of them on my job site, multi-million-dollar pieces of machinery on my job site. So I think the total job cost is like $60 million. And so I'm jumping. I did that when I was 20 years old in the ironworkers, jumping up with the bullpen, knocking the pins out of to put the crane up together and to break it down, right? Last night when I jumped down off the piece, I landed. I was like, oh man, like you feel it. I'm not 20 years old anymore, and that's just one moment of the whole 8-hour night that I'm running back and forth. I think I looked on my phone. I did like 10,000 steps, which amounted to 7 miles. So I walked to 7 miles in 8 hours just around my job site. In muck boots, trudging through mud, and I don't want to keep complaining about it, but it's severely, severely difficult, even for a young guy. So I'm tired all the time, even sitting here in my car. I don't want to go back. I just want to. But the job's about to end in 2 weeks, probably 3 or 4 for me, because I'll probably keep one laborer there, and I'm the foreman, so I'll stay to the end, and then. That's it. I don't care. It's going to be January and February. It's going to be brutal, like unbearable, 20 degrees, 5 degrees with the wind chill. I'm out on the open water over there. There's no really tall buildings. There's going to be wind. Your hands are fucking ice cold. You're suffering. I'm suffering. So I'm not doing that anymore. I don't care what my bills are, my rent. I don't care. You got to wait. You gotta wait till March when I go back. You wanna take me to court? I don't care. I don't care. I don't. because that is easier than standing out there and suffering. Yeah, the car sounds much better. And very excited because just at the right time, I was about to sell all my equipment. I can't do this fucking thing. If I can't make a track, I'm not going to be any kind of a DJ because there's billions of DJs in the world. And the only way I'm going to stand out between me and make a difference is if I make a slamming hot track that gets released by fucking Defective Records. You know what I mean? Even then, I may not blow up. But there's no chance. There's no chance. Well, as I'm saying it, I'm thinking maybe I'm wrong too, because if I reached out to some of my friends, even as I think of Steve in here, who's on in the chat, we know specific people in the scene. But even that, I got another guy that I know that said stay away from everybody in that scene, because all they're gonna do is, give it to you like screw you over, talk shit about you, all this stuff, make you want to kill them. So I'd rather just avoid all of that drama, try and make a hit record, and go through the back door or something where I don't have to deal with people. But before, that's going to be a long time. At least right now, how I feel, because I have to learn. Once I learn the equipment, I'll master it, and then I'll be better than everybody, because I know good music. I don't care what anyone thinks or says. I know what good music sounds like. And I know what's in my head and in my heart, what I want to make as a producer. I just don't know how to make it. So once I learn, it's going to be unbelievable. It's going to be a crazy story. It's going to be a crazy fucking story. So, the job is coming to an end in 3 weeks. I'm going to have all the time in the world. No more 12-hour days, leaving at noon, coming back at midnight, Monday to Friday. Then I'm tired during the weekend, and I'm in bed all weekend because I'm exhausted from... No. So that's all about to end. I'm going to have more time. I'm going to have opportunity. I got the equipment. I didn't get rid of it, thank God. And by the time I go back to work in March, I'm going to give myself that much time. By the time the warm weather breaks again, I go back in March. Besides the fact that unemployment is up to $865 a week, I pay into that every week. I'm entitled to those unemployment insurance benefits, and I'm fucking utilizing them. Especially because there's lack of work. I'm not doing anything funny. I didn't get fired. I didn't, lack of work. So, I got till March to figure out how to make a that's my deadline, right? Whenever I go back to work. Hopefully we're here in March and it's happening. And when I talk about what I talked about, how it came true, how it came to fruition. Yeah. That's about it. So, let's see here. It's hard to read while I'm driving too, Steven. I'm going to call you though. Stop crying. Yeah, I know. I know. Go out there and do it again and tell me how you feel. Go back to work, do what I'm doing, and tell me how you feel. You won't. You're better than me in that. I'm doing it because I'm an idiot. Bow, 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 bow. Park the car. No more car. Staying in the house all winter. I'm in school. Phone ring is off. Nobody can get a hold of me. Why? I'm in school. I'm learning for my future. Yeah, I got to do it. Okay, I'll call you. Yeah, our fathers were different people. They're a different animal. They suffered, though. You know, and each generation after them, they were like the last of the real men, real working men. Because me, like today, I'm working with all these young guys, and I put them to shame. And they're all like, their mentality is, why are you going crazy for, man? Like, you're in the union. Exactly. Why are you not working? Like, what do you think? Because you're in the union, you don't have to work? You think that these companies are paying all this money? There's 50 guys on my job that make roughly around $100 an hour each. So that's, how much is that an hour? Put a whole 50 times 100 is 500? No. 50,000? Am I retarded right now? I can't do simple. So that's $5,000 an hour. And they've been there. That's just the pay. That's not even all the other shit they got to pay for the insurance, for everything. $5,000 an hour is payroll on my job. 40 hours a week. That's $20,000 a week in payroll. 52 weeks out of the year. It's only $100,000 on a $60 million job. Yeah, so maybe that's not that much money. But anyway, it's probably more than that, and I'm doing it wrong. Anyway, my father taught me, you go to work, you're making a good wage, you give them a good 8 hours. Nobody gets broken in like that anymore. Nobody gets told. Then now it's like, oh, you're in the union. Get on the union. You won't have to work. You could just stand around all day and get paid a lot of money. That's fucking embarrassing. If that's a person's mentality, that is a disgrace. Because if I was a company owner, I would be like, what the fuck is this? Why am I paying these guys $100 an hour? I gotta pay somebody half of that to stand around. Anyway, so I'm not doing it because I got pride and I got respect, and so I'm tired, and they probably go home and they're fucking living nice and free. Not exhausted like me, but whatever. Not exhausted like I am, but whatever. Alrighty, that's it. I was gonna start doing different content besides the DJing. Try and find my niche. I've been watching a lot of. I watch YouTube is all I watch, right? I don't watch TV. I haven't turned my television on since COVID. Because when COVID happened, I just bought a TV too, right before that, like a 55-inch friggin' flat screen. And then COVID happened, and then every day, so many millions of people were dying all over the news. I couldn't watch it. So I turned the TV off, I remember, and I never turned. I just started watching my videos on YouTube, and that became a thing. And now I never watch TV. My TV's got a big ball of dust on it because it just sits there. I'm always watching YouTube videos, so I follow a lot of different channels and stuff. And a lot of the channels I like to follow now are like the rats, the mob rats. Even though that's what they are, they're rats. I shouldn't really be watching them. But it's very interesting because if I'm Sammy the Bull, right? There's such a story behind that whole thing. Beyond the story, the actual story of whatever happened that we know about. Like they sent a hit team to get him when he went to Vegas, Nevada. And they used his best friends that only know how he thinks. And it's so interesting to be able to learn about that. Why do I care? I don't know. I guess I grew up around it. I grew up in a heavily mafia neighborhood in the Bronx here. The other thing I realized, thank God, is that I never got involved in it. Even though I'm Irish, I could have never really been involved anyway. But he'll explain, like, he said like this. He's like, one of the guys just passed away, so he was his best friend, and I guess he must have just died. So Sammy the Bull came on and was like, yeah, he died, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about him. So he goes on to explain how, again, they all grew up in a heavily mob-infested neighborhood in Brooklyn, back in whenever, the 60s, 50s, especially Sammy the Bull. Even the stories of John Gotti when he was a kid, awesome stories, man, unbelievable, like how it all came to be. I never knew that, you know what I mean? I just know about what went on in my neighborhood and the people that I knew was just associated with, not even like involved with. But I heard all the things that went on in my neighborhood throughout the years. People got killed, people got clipped, people disappeared. It was all like growing up, all around me from 5 years old. Since my first memory. I'm still living here, in the same neighborhood. But he was like, and my father too. My father's Italian, full Italian. My mother's Irish. That's where I'm Irish from. My father grew up in the 50s and 60s in this neighborhood in the Bronx, where it was like the all-time high. Everybody was mobbed up. And my pop was like, no. His father was connected with somebody, and he did 10 years. So I guess my father saw that, and he was like, I ain't doing that. So he had kids at a young age, and he told us to stay away from that, just say hello, be respectful, and keep moving. And I'm glad he did, because you're going to either end up, like, and they knew it too, like they tell you when you want to get involved, like, listen, if you want to do this, that jail is a requirement. Right there, boom, okay, no, I'm good. And like they would do long stints in prison, and like it was like no big deal. Like, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't stand being in there for 4 months last year. If I had to do like years inside, no way. No fucking way, man. I would have to kill myself. I think anyway. So that's that. And then the other thing is, they killed each other. Like, I grew up with a certain group of kids, and I still know them. I have known them for 40 years, some of them. Some of them I know since I'm 10. Some of them I know since kindergarten. We were never going to kill each other. Even if we don't talk anymore, we're not friends. They literally, like, sneaked them from behind, like thinking you were their friend, and then boom, blew your head off like you were just nobody important to them. Like, I go in the comments too. I tell Sammy the Bull, I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me that you're telling people in public, telling the public, almost like saying it like it's just normal, because I guess in his world it's normal, but that's not fucking normal. That is not normal. But I'm compelled to watch it. It's my entertainment. Wow. All for money. Money and power. You could have it. You could have it. There's other ways to freaking get money. And then, power yourself. Then I saw this other thing, and I'm going to leave you with this one. And it said, who's your best friend? All right? And I'm trying to think of how to explain it. Or forget about that. You are your best friend. If you become your best friend, you don't need nothing. You don't need anyone. You don't need. And I'm not saying that because I always say, oh, I don't need anybody. I'm good on my own. like to try to throw it in people's faces. I do that because I think we should all be like that. Because if everybody was like if everybody was their best friend and didn't need other people to rely on, yeah, it's good to rely on people sometimes, but there's some people out there who want to always they need to rely on somebody else because they're not friends with themselves. So I used to think it was me not loving myself. I used to say, oh, I don't love myself. I guess it's the same thing. When you love yourself, you could be friends with yourself, right? But I don't need anybody. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be a dick. I'm saying it because if we all felt like that, then nobody would feel pressured to have to be there. Because I have compassion for other people who do feel like that, who aren't friends with themselves and always look for me. And this is not directed at any one person. If you're watching, it's not. Because I actually told you yesterday, because I thought about this, that if I'm talking to you, it's because I want to. It's not because... and this is kind of what I meant when I said that. If I'm talking to you, it's because I want to. And not because I need to. Or something like that. I forget now. But, yeah, not everybody feels like that, so I got to be careful and cautious. Because I care about a lot of people, too. People that I talk to every day, there's 5 people. My mother including. She's number 1. And I care about them. If anything happened, I would fucking be fucked up, really fucked up. So, and sometimes people are going through hard times, and it's a different situation. But I'm saying, you got other people. How about that? We got other people who still feel the need, there's nothing going on, but they're just not in touch with themselves, and they just look to you for everything. And I'm I feel compassionate to them because I'm I feel bad for them, a little bit. And I wish everybody felt like me. But I guess that's not a real world. My mother always used to tell me when I was a kid, I would play all day by myself. I just had, my toys, and I kept myself busy. I was always, like what I'm doing now with the DJ stuff. Or like that, even that, when Juana died. I didn't run to everybody help me, because I knew that wasn't going to do anything. Me asking for other people's help, I guess it does help. I didn't feel like it was going to help me, because that was too great of a loss to think that I don't know. I just felt like that. So the only thing I did was go inward. I went inward. I looked in. I was like, Steven, this is what it is. There's nobody going to be able to do anything. Nobody was going to do anything about it. Nothing was going to change that situation. And I felt like me talking about it constantly every day was just keep making, never healing. But then I have a good friend who thinks that talking about it is healing. So I guess it depends on how you feel. I just don't feel like that. When I'm faced with adversity in life, I tend to thrive in it because I just go. I gotta go. There's no stopping. I came so far this time. You know what I mean? And now this happens. It's I'm not gonna use that as an excuse to go backwards. I wasn't gonna do that, and I wasn't gonna tarnish her name with that. Her sacred name. Her name is heavenly, and I messed up because she passed away. No, I wouldn't even put that on her name. And I guess even that, because there's so many levels to it. I guess if I didn't love myself and I wasn't my best friend, I probably would have resorted to that. But because I did become my best friend, now I do love myself. It's not even as a matter of tarnishing her name. It's that I'm not going to do that no matter what. No matter what. No matter who lives, who dies, who loves me, who don't. I love me, and I don't need anybody's love. I want people's love, but I don't need it. There's a difference. So I hope that helps somebody, anybody, whoever hears it. Look inward, It's a good thing. All right, I'll talk to you later. Have a good day.